Alrighty, we are live right now. It's just me for the moment. I am trying to see if I can get some other people in. So we'll have a. This is just going to go on for at the most an hour. And then I'm going to be on Nico's live stream, her birthday stream. So let me see if I can get some other people in real quick. All right. Sent out an invite to some people. Let's see what's going on here. So far, it just says me, no viewers. All right. So, Nico's. If you don't follow Half of Supremacy on YouTube, then you should be, because they're a great channel. And Nico and Shane are two awesome people. So definitely, they actually have had me on their live stream once before. And then they do live streams. I don't know if they have a set schedule or not, but they do live streams. They bring on people here and there. And just some of their videos and stuff are really funny. So it's worth checking out their YouTube channel, because they're funny people. But it's also worth following them on Twitter. I don't have their Twitter. Hold on, let me look up their Twitters right now. For Nico, it's Petite Nikoko. That is PETITENICO. That's how you get to Nico's Twitter account. And then for Shane, it is at Shane Scalf, which is just at SHAINESCALPH. So to follow them on Twitter if you're not already, and then if you aren't currently doing it, subscribe to the Half of Supremacy YouTube. They got some good stuff there. So. Hiya, it's Maya. Are you here, Maya? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now. Hi.
Hi.
What's going on?
Nothing much. I'm just waiting. Like, I've got 2 other streams outside of this one.
Yeah.
Because Marcus's trial is tomorrow, so he'll probably do a pre-trial stream.
Okay.
And then there's this stream, Nico's stream, that I've been looking forward to for like forever.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to Nico's birthday stream. I have tomorrow. I'm doing one for the comic book company I work for. We're doing a comic books live one, so I got that tomorrow. I'm not sure what the rest of my week's schedule looks like right now, but yeah. I got onto this impromptu one last night from, I don't know if you follow Chairview at all.
Chairview?
On Chairview, yeah. He does streams he does streams like every 2 days almost. Like, he does a lot of them. And then when I saw his title for his was something about like a discussion about feminism, so I was like, hey man, send me the link. And then I think we barely talked about feminism. We went all over the place. There was a bunch of us on there though. I think we talked about school like gun violence and stuff like that. But then I was like, all right, I gotta log off now. And then I logged off, and I was getting ready for bed. I on my phone hopped on, and they were saying something about comic books. So I signed back into the stream. I was like, well, you're talking about comic books, so I guess I'm not going to bed anytime soon, because now I can start talking about that. Yeah, I stayed on for like another 10, 15 minutes or so. But so are you like going to be doing, are you just going to be guests on my streams, or do you plan on starting your own?
If I can ever figure out OBS, I plan to eventually, but
yeah. Are you going to do them on YouTube?
Just a lot of technical stuff that I'm not really good at.
Yeah. Okay. Like last night, a good like the first like 15 minutes or so of me streaming last night was me trying to figure out a problem with my mic where I had Madness. He was Pure Madness. He was on. He joined in, and I was trying to like I couldn't hear him at all. It took me forever to figure it out. And I was just it was like 15 minutes of me fiddling around with things on my live stream trying to figure out what the hell the technical difficulties were. I finally got it figured out. So like, yeah, it's good. Like you said when you said like, it'll give me a chance to test out my mic. I'm like, yeah, you want a chance to figure it out before you hop in and make a fool out of yourself because you're sitting there. Either nobody can hear you or like you're not talking about anything. You're just dicking around with everything, like trying to figure what the fuck is going on. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. I can kind of get the whole mic thing because this, like my Blue Snowball, I was trying to join a live stream and this was not working, and I ended up having to like, I had to revert to the built-in mic in my computer. And it turns out it's a problem with like the connector thing. Here, I'll activate my
okay.
Even though I haven't done my makeup, but
no, it's fine.
It's like you have to be like pushing the cord like that in order to get any like connection.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
So I actually took this apart and tried to like dump a bunch of solder and stuff like in the connections here, but it turns out it's actually a problem with the component itself. It's not even the wiring.
Man. Yeah. No.
So I got this, and it's adorable. It's tiny.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. I got for Camwise, I got like a Logitech. It was like a 1080p HD one. But before I was just doing the streams on my phone on my Android, and the sound just kept being so weird and bizarre. So I was like, yeah, I need to get some kind of a mic. So that's when I purchased, like I was asking people what their advice was, and that's when I got the Blue Yeti one.
Yeah.
It's really nice so far. I've not had any issues with it. Once I figured it out, of course, I've not had any issues with it. It's served me.
Yeah, this was also a Blue, so I decided to get that instead of a Yeti. Also, it's a lot cheaper, but there's like there's less like basically the advantage of the Yeti is that you can do a lot more with it. Like this is cardioid only, I think it's what it's called. Like it'll only pick up sound in front of it.
Okay.
And it's not an XLR, so you can't put it through like an audio interface. But it's also way cheaper and it's really tiny and it's easier to figure out. So for my purposes, without being too technical, it works. Or I hope it'll work. This is the first time I've used it, but yeah.
Well, it sounds good so far. Mic wise, you're coming in great. So I don't have any issues there. Yeah. See, like for me, when I was trying to figure out what was going wrong, where I couldn't hear anybody, I have to have my headphones plugged into the mic, not the computer, to work. So it's weird because when I do that, I can actually hear myself talking. But
yeah, that's why they have that actually. Like it's for like people to know what they're sounding like through the mic. My thing, that is one thing that it does have. It has a volume thing on it, but it's not. It's not for the mic sensitivity. It's actually for the volume in case you plug headphones into it. But yeah.
Okay, well then, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I turned down the volume a little bit. That actually worked a lot. Huh. Yeah, I'm still figuring stuff out about it because, of course, me being a man, I didn't read the instructions at all. So I just, hey, Madness, welcome, man. I just avoided the instructions. It was like, I'll figure it out. Like, I'll just dick around with it for a while, and by the end of the day, I'll figure it out. It took me a while, but Madness was on the stream with me when I was trying to figure it out last night. Yep. It took me a while, but we got there.
I'm not sure if you could see my mirror in the background when I was showing myself.
Yeah, I could.
It's right there. It's like 3 feet away, so hopefully you can hear me, but I'm going to go do my makeup now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. you're still gonna be on the like talking.
I'll be in the stream. I'm just.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you just fine.
Cool.
What's going on with you, Madness? I haven't talked to you since.
I'm still living here.
Yeah. What time is it where you're at again? I always forget.
It's 12:37.
12:37. That's a.m.
Yep.
Damn, man. Yeah, it's 7 here, 7:38 here. Maya, what time is it where you're at? I don't know what you're.
I think I'm an hour behind Central, so like.
Okay.
5:37 right now.
Okay, so you're on like the West Coast.
Yep.
Cool.
Wait, isn't the West Coast 2 hours difference? Because there's like 4 time zones, you say.
Like further, are you in the States, Maya? You're in the States, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are 4 time zones at least in the USA.
You're kind of.
one is not the middle one. That is one for certain.
Hey, Madness, I don't know if it's just me. Maya can.
It's not. He's a robot.
Okay, yeah, you're like kind of coming in all robot sounding. I can't hear you too well.
Fucking ass. I hate my fucking internet.
I thought that might go away, but I guess not.
Is your internet? Yeah, I know you said you were having problems with it. My brother, though, he's my oldest brother. He's the second half of SNL. He runs mostly the Facebook page, and then I do the Twitter, and then he does the website too. But we run the whole Sarcasm Liberty together. He lives in Arizona, so he's like 2 hours behind me. So whenever we're trying to figure out like what time we're gonna always have him like, he'll be like, yeah, let's do it around this time. And I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds good. And then later on, I'm like, oh no, fuck, that's 2 hours difference for me. That's right, shit. So yeah, I'm always having to remember that whenever we talk time zones and stuff like that.
Time zones are a pain in the ass sometimes.
Yeah, time zones are just an absolute fucking pain.
Yeah, I heard when I was gonna stream with Irate Bear, he said, "Oh, I can have you on Tuesday. It'll be 7 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time." And I thought, "Oh, Tuesday, yeah." I thought, "Oh, 7 p.m. Yeah, I'll be free in the evening, even though I have a class that goes fairly late." And I'm like, "Oh, wait, that's 3. That's 3 here."
Yeah, it's something that math. Plus, don't forget, in USA, there's already summertime. Here, it isn't yet.
Totally roboting.
That is this weekend.
Yeah. You're like your audio is coming really bad, man. I don't know what's going on because last night you were coming in like crystal clear, but tonight it's just fucking up.
We're gonna need to take the opportunity to fix that now before Nico's stream.
I think that would be a good idea. I mean, I don't know if you can like fiddle around with your net or your settings or something, or maybe like try to log out and log back in. Yeah. It's weird. Like, man, internet it's dumb sometimes. It's just, things just fuck up for no reason. I'm going to hop on. I'm going into my Facebook right now to see if some people from Think Liberty want to hop on real quick. Did either of you heard of Think Liberty?
No.
No, my brother does memes for them. Have you heard of the Dankertarians? They're the really ridiculous socialist libertarian caucus thing.
Yeah, I saw their Twitter profile briefly. It was interesting.
Yeah. Now, Dankertarians used to be full of like a bunch of really like good people, and then the socialist caucus, like the left, the ANCOMs took over, and then like so the rest. These people left. They were like, fuck this, I'm done with it. And they went and joined Think Liberty family. And or not Think Liberty. They created Think Liberty off of that. And then all the good people that the Dankertarians had left and went over to Think Liberty. And all Dankertarians was left with like all the retarded, like, you know, like socialism kind of people. And that's why Dankertarians has fallen like just so far from grace. But there's some really good people. Like I always advise people to check out Think Liberty if they get a chance, because they have some really good stuff. I'm gonna see if I can get any of those guys on right now.
Cool.
Three. get some of them in. It's such short notice. I didn't think I was gonna do a live stream until Nico's tonight. I almost forgot about Nico's. I thought Nico's was like Sunday at first. I forgot she told me it was going to be on the 19th, not the 18th.
I made that same
So I was, yeah. Like I felt like shit yesterday. Like I had such a massive migraine like all day. And then when I finally felt good, I got on the live stream, on Chair's live stream, and you were there too, Madness. You hopped on that stream for a bit. Are you still here, man? Okay, you are. I just didn't know if your mic cut out or anything. Yeah, I can't hear him now. It doesn't look like he must be trying to fix his thing.
At least it's a good thing he tried to join this stream before Nico's.
Yeah, that's what I think. It's a good because that's where I was. I was supposed to start the first official Sarcasm Liberty stream on Saturday, but like my entire house was sick Saturday. Like both my kids, my wife, and me, we were all sick. Like all with just cold-like symptoms. So it was just a shitty day. So we're just like, fuck it, we're gonna rest. And I was just like, my brother messaged me and like, yeah, is it okay if we reschedule? So I think we're gonna try for Thursday sometime. But I'm like, yeah, before you do a mainstream, it's good to make sure. That's why I was doing it yesterday, hopping on on my own stream for a little bit yesterday, because I'm like, I need to know how this is gonna work. Otherwise, I'm gonna look like an idiot on somebody's main live stream where I can't figure out how to fucking do anything.
Oh, this reminds me, I tried to do a stream and apparently I got it to work, but for 2 minutes. And when I thought that it wasn't recording, and then it uploaded automatically.
Oh my God.
I have this thing called test stream talking about so-and-so. And all it is 2 minutes of me talking with a friend of mine on Rabbit, without even realizing that
there was a live stream I had invited you on. I think it was Chairview, because I can't remember what we were talking about. Something to do with trans stuff. And I wanted to see if you could come on, but you were having problems with your mic or cam or something that night. Madness, you're back.
I was just too quiet and people were talking over me.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Hey,
I disabled a microphone that isn't plugged in, and then I couldn't be heard anymore for some reason.
Well, I can hear you now, though. So whatever you did, it worked.
I enabled it. The other one that I just disabled. The microphone that is not plugged in. That's probably the microphone from my previous headset.
Okay.
And that was actually a good fucking headset. I really need to go order that one again.
Yeah. No, I had some. Me and my wife had some. We have I have a bank account I created when I was in the military with USAA, which is a military friendly bank. So I created it, but we just never use it because we don't have a physical location we can go to. It's pretty much all online. But we dump some money here and there. So money just kind of saves up in that account for a while. My wife was like, well, hey, I want to get a tattoo. I know you want to get some stuff for your live stream. So how about we tap into that account for that? And
nothing for your kids? For school and shit?
What's that?
Not for your kids, for school and shit.
My kids actually each have their own bank accounts that we put money into. Yeah. So both my kids have their own bank accounts.
My parents did the exact same thing for me and my younger brother. And my father, in the end, took all the money from it.
Oh.
Yeah, he's that kind of fucking ass.
Yeah. No, each of my kids have their own bank account. We put money into them every month. And then every year I do this thing on their birthdays that I take their age times 10 and I deposit that much money into their bank account. So this last year when my son turned 3, we put $30 into his bank account. When my daughter turned 7, we put $70 into his bank account. And we do that every year. And then when it's 18, so long as they either join the military or at least enroll in college or show some kind of are looking for a really a decent job, they're not just kind of slacking off, then we go ahead and sign the bank over.
So as long as they don't become a aggressive old lefty.
Yeah, if they're not leftists by the time, I guess.
An aggressive old lefty because they were good lefties. Those exist.
Yeah.
Just look at you.
if they got a good head on their shoulders, which they should, I mean, we're raising them pretty right. By the time they turn 18, like they're doing, if they're trying to be a part of society by the time they turn 18 in some way, then yeah, we're just gonna sign it over to them. That's gonna, my hope is if they go to college, that'll help them with college and stuff. But if they choose to join the military, I'll still sign it over to them right away because I mean, they'll get their their college bonuses and stuff like that anyway. So
that's one thing that I've noticed. If you want to just go move, and you have joined a military, you can just go move wherever you want in the Western world.
Like post-military, or are you talking about on your?
Have you done military shit and stuff like that? Like you can just decide, I want to move to Europe. You can just go move here, and you can have no problem for that shit. Vice versa, but I have never joined the army.
My first duty station was supposed to be Germany, and then I ended up getting sent to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and then I spent my entire 5 years of service in Fort Bragg. And
where east, west, north, south?
I have no idea. I can't remember. That was so long ago. I can't remember.
If it was west, you could just come to the country next to it.
Yeah. No, it's pretty common for a lot of people, for their first duty station, especially in logistics, to be either Germany or Korea. You go to South Korea, that's a big duty station.
And South Korea, of course.
Yeah.
I doubt you can station in North Korea.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near Korea's.
You don't know after Trump have talked with Kim Jong-il?
Yeah.
Who knows what the fuck happens?
Who knows?
Fun story. My university actually has a campus in South Korea.
Oh
yeah.
So I wonder how many more of them are going to be coming abroad here just to not be in that area right about now? I don't know. I'm just thinking.
No, I hear you. I don't know. Just this political climate too. I'm glad I left the military before Obama became president because I was very much I don't trust this guy, and I feel there were people in the military Well, there were people in the military I want to vote for Obama because so we can end these wars, and then the wars didn't end, and we invaded even more countries, and then I'm glad. Fuck all that.
I keep saying if I lived in USA and I was a good vote for thing, I've been certain first term Obama I would have voted for him. Second term, no way. Fuck, I would have voted for him anymore.
Well, my wife, she voted for Obama his first term, and the second term, she was I feel kind of cheated, and she was I feel I was promised all this stuff, and I was lied to, and I was welcome to politics, that's.
I shouldn't. I would be even able to vote for during Bush's second term, even because that would be 11 years ago. Now that was Bush's first term was just done in the time period, or was it either starting?
Which time period?
I would definitely should not vote for Bush's second term.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I was actually overseas during Bush's second election, and I just didn't bother voting because.
How was he even able to get the second election? Because the first one was cut short his term, because there was proven that he cheated the election. How the fuck can he be re-elected then again?
I think every election there's claims that the politicians cheated somehow.
Oh, David Harrison was proven because his term was cut short. He didn't do 4 years.
Who did? Bush
Jr. didn't do 4 years.
Oh yeah, I have no idea about that.
It was cut short because they're hey, it was cheating, and for some reason you could join it again. I'm how is it even possible? So they can literally, but I can say the same thing with Hillary because she clearly fucking cheated the Democrat election, and still could hear it. Still isn't locked up. Sorry, but that is kind of big, huge fucking fraud you fucking put there. The bitching about Trump, but Hillary already started.
U.S. politics in general, are just such a shit show. We've progressively gotten worse and worse.
Same here.
Yeah, the left and right have just lost all sense of reality.
Yeah,
you think about it. I mean, the fact that they put George W. Bush was a terrible candidate. He won twice, even though, but like his second during his reelection, the Democrats put forth John Kerry, which was like one of the worst possible candidates. It was like they wanted Bush to be president again, and then the Democrats put Obama forth.
Very better than Hillary.
Yeah, the Democrats put forth Obama, which was a great choice. The Republicans, who did they put forth? John McCain, which was just, he looked like more of the same. I was like, obviously he's not going to win.
Plus, after the whole fiasco with Bush, the Republicans had less chance to win anyway. So whoever they put it up, that person wouldn't have won anyway.
Yeah. But then,
black. A lot of people voted for him because he was black.
Yeah, during Obama's re-election, though, the re-election campaign, who did the Republicans choose for their running person? The person who lost to the person who lost to Obama. Like, why would you pick Romney? That makes no sense whatsoever. And then the Republicans put forth one of the most asinine candidates ever, Donald Trump. And then who do the Democrats want to run against? One of the most corrupt politicians to ever exist, Hillary fucking Clinton. It's such a shit show. It's like, what, you guys aren't taking anything seriously, it feels like.
No, it's
really though.
Was that plan?
Look at Britain right now. Look at May and Corbyn. Like, May against any other candidate would have been unacceptable. Like,
yeah.
I said locally with Germany with Merkel, or Holland with Rutte and bullshit like that, or France with Macron and bullshit like that. Fucking shit. Who the fuck? How the fuck did he get elected? Like, I'm still I know one thing with as well, like you can vote blanco. That is a thing here. The weirdest thing is what I'm thinking, like how I'm sure that they still not going to use the votes for a candidate. That's how that's my theory how Rutte won, because nobody voted for him, and for some reason he still won. So I'm pretty much they use the blanco and the non-voters, and they count all as votes for him. That's my fucking theory.
Well, it's just like,
proof, but hey.
And it's not even like exclusive to America. When it comes to politics, like Maya had said with just some of the stuff in the UK, like it just seems like these when you have two, and that's the problem when you come down to like when it comes down to just two specific sides. When you have just left and right, and you don't like take in third parties as a viable candidate, these candidates, like they produce just the worst possible candidates, and then you start to feel like you have less and less of a choice. You have a choice between shit and more shit, like the giant douche and a turd sandwich, like South Park says. Like you start to feel like that, and then like you have people like pushing so hard to make third party candidates sound like a bad idea. And it's like, no, come on, give him a chance. Like Gary Johnson wasn't like a great, like he wasn't representative of all libertarianism.
Yeah, but you cannot have too much parties. Like we have at least like 15 fucking parties. Some even in the end doesn't make the cut to be voted for, like the Libertarian Party was here.
Yeah.
There was literally even the party I got the highest most points to get voted for. I could have voted. Second party wasn't too fucking small of a party. It was like, fuck that shit. Yeah. So hey, then the only party was left was Wilder.
Yeah.
Well, fuck.
And like, I know you're in the EU somewhere. Like, I think having an oversaturation of parties would be bad too. But like, also
paid still.
Yeah, when you're having like this underwhelming amount of people to vote for, it just, like I always say, because people are like, well, I'm going to vote for this.
Kids about the elections. Like when I was in middle school, like we had some like politics balls, but it's like what happened in the 50s, what happened in the 60s. Like teach the kids what the fuck is happening with the parties right now, what the fuck they're doing, so they can learn when they turn 18 to vote. They don't do that shit anymore. So kids are like, I don't know what to vote, and we have like 50 fucking parties. I don't know. I just vote random. Done.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Schools get really bizarre when it comes to, like I think back on my government class in high school, and I think of how little I actually learned about what government really is. I learned that, go ahead, Maya.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say a couple of thoughts regarding third parties. First of all, I like the idea of being able to cast multiple votes. So you say, okay, this is my first choice, this is my second choice, this is my third choice.
I like the system.
But also, I think there needs to be a mindset of the more votes a party gets, the more statistically insignificant yours is. Like everybody says, oh, you're throwing your vote away if you give your vote to a smaller party rather than a big one, but the big party already has so many votes, yours has so much less of an impact.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there needs to be a different mindset there.
Agreed. I would definitely agree with that. I mean, like the left and the right now are so just like so bloated right now. You know, like you can like look at all these votes.
Elastic further and further and further and further.
Yeah.
I think fucking snaps.
Yeah. Now, here's one thing I think that every ballot, at least in the U.S., every single ballot for every election should have a none of the above option. And if none of the above wins, nobody gets that office. Yeah. Like if people like say for the next presidential election, there was Trump, there was whoever the fuck, and then whoever the libertarians choose, which God pray it's not going to be Bill Weld. And then, like, there was none of the above. And then everybody went in and they checked none of the above. And none of the above wins. That would mean, guess what? For the next 4 years, we don't have a president because the American people don't feel confident in that office. That would make people, like, readdress.
They don't get, like, a fucking shithead who don't know anything. Yeah. That's basically why Trump was elected, because they were like, we're done with this fucking bullshit. Let's get this buffoon in there.
Yeah, well, and that's the problem is like when you don't have like here's the thing, here's what's like a none of the above option would do. It would make every political party think way harder about who they put out, because here's like when it's basically just down between the left and the right, all you have to do is have somebody that's just a little better presented than Hillary Clinton or a little better presented than Donald Trump. You don't have to have the best candidate. You just have to have a better candidate than one other person. You know, and that's where like having the option to vote none of the above would make political parties be way more selective about who they choose, because they're going to know, okay, even if, it's better than this person, if it's not the actual best candidate, people will vote none of the above.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And people who don't know anything, like, oh, okay, I don't know and I don't want to waste my vote, let's vote blanco.
Mm-mm. Well, I mean, when you think about it, because I always see people saying, like, no, Donald, when it comes to like Donald Trump being president, and then the lefts are usually like, well, Donald Trump didn't get the majority vote, Hillary Clinton did. And I'm always like, no, actually, if you want to consider who got the majority vote, if you consider staying at home and sitting on your ass to vote, nobody got the majority vote. Over half the country didn't vote. Hillary Clinton didn't get the majority vote. Donald Trump didn't get a good chunk. Each of them got about a quarter of the U.S. So over half the country was like, fuck this, I want no part of it. And like, here's the thing too, is like, if you considered like, even if we did
one reason as well why many people didn't vote, because it was like, oh, Hillary went better and had landslide. So many people, Hillary votes were like, why are you going to vote? She's going to win anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, think of how many.
So fucking dumb by the polls.
Think how many polls. Like, I think the left, like their worship of Hillary Clinton, kind of like screwed themselves over in the end, because they were like, oh yeah, Hillary Clinton's projected to win by like 90%, and they made these like really outlandish like landslide polls that like were just them like making up shit basically. But when they did stuff like that, there were probably a lot of leftists that like, oh, we don't have to worry about going out and vote because there's no way Donald Trump's going to win. I think
that's so fucking dumb, because they might have won if they actually like all went and go.
Yeah. I'm sure there were
definitely states Trump would have won. So like Texas, Trump would have won. No doubt.
Yeah. No, I'm sure there's more states Hillary could have won too. Like if there was more of a emphasis on like Hillary Clinton was just it was just one of the worst possible candidates you could have picked. I mean, Hillary Clinton was so cringy, like her like
she tries to be hip and fails.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Maya?
I was just gonna say more like Chillery, am I right?
No, I always hold her Pokemon Go to the polls like speech as just one of the cringiest things I've ever heard a presidential candidate do. Like
I remember I saw Sean had tweet that out. All she did is just quoted it in all caps, and that was all. There was no commentary is even
right. It's so cringy. Like she tried so hard to connect with the younger people that she distanced herself from them so much.
Trying to be here.
Hello, fellow kids meme.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like the thing with Trump. He just does cool and he looks cool. Done. Yeah. But she don't give a fuck. She clearly gives a fuck what the fuck she's doing.
Did you see the thing that Sargon said? Like, he talks like the working class.
Who?
The way he talks is the way a lot of Americans genuinely speak.
Which person are you saying?
He talks. Like, he didn't have to try to connect with people. People connected with him.
So who are you talking about, though? Who said that?
Trump. Oh, Sargon said that.
Who is he talking about, though? Sorry.
Trump.
Oh, he was talking about
Trump. Okay.
Yeah, kept saying he.
Yeah. Here's the thing, too, though. Like, Trump, I mean, like, love him or hate him, like, he was... like he did run all these really successful businesses and stuff. Like it wasn't like foreign to him. He could talk from a business standpoint.
Not all fair and square.
Yeah. Like
but
Trump,
he did make it.
Yeah. Trump's like a psychotic person. I don't like Trump, but I mean you have to admit, like you have to give credit where credit's due. Like he is a successful businessman.
The guy and he if he tries to be cool, he can actually pull it off. But Hillary tries to be hip and fails even that.
Well, here's the thing too. Like, and as much as you like another thing of love him or hate him, Trump, I don't feel like ever tries to pander to people as much as Hillary did. Yep. He just says like bizarre, crazy shit, and people latch onto it and love it or hate it. But like I don't ever feel like he's like saying things where he's trying to pander to somebody, where you don't feel like you're.
That's still the funny thing. When I first heard he was going to be elected, I already said to people, he's going to fucking win. I already fucking knew he was going to fucking win. I knew that from the fucking beginning.
I didn't have quite as much confidence as you, I don't think, but I will have to say, like, there was part of me...
when it was between Trump and Hillary, I was even more certain he would win.
I have to say, as much as I despise both Clinton and Trump, and I really don't like Trump, and when I say this, and I have to specify, I do not like Trump, but when he won... there was some satisfaction with me because it was just like, oh my god, all those fucking like obnoxious Hillary people just got
owned hot.
Just owned. Like, thank God, now they'll shut up.
Funny. Some of the electoral voters were even changing the vote from Hillary to like for Trump or third party. And all the people who were banging like, I changed electoral vote to Trump, from Trump to Hillary. Yeah, they can change. So they all changed from Hillary away. Yeah. None did go away from Trump. That was ingenious.
Were you trying to say something, Maya? It looked like it hopped, like your thing. Your mic dropped up.
Oh, I don't think so. No.
Oh, okay. It kind of the volume thing jumped up. I want to make sure it.
Apparently, what Oprah said on the Late Late Show with Jim Corden, that he's gonna made someone ready for the 2034 election.
Yeah, let's get this out in the open. Oprah, the idea of her running for office is one of the worst things. And it becomes so hypocritical of the left if they push her for a candidacy, because they've talked about how Trump isn't, like Trump is a TV star, like a reality show TV star, and him being the president is ridiculous because of that. And then they turn around and they want to vote in fucking Oprah, of all people.
She's going to be Hillary 2.0, basically. So it's like, vote for me because I'm woman. It will be vote for me because I'm woman and I'm black.
Oh, there will be a lot of like vote for me because vagina. Like that was a lot of Hillary's campaign. Mm-hmm. Like,
what if what's the black trans woman in Black is the New Orange? What's the show? Orange New Black? What's her name again? If they got that election, meaning she got 3 points to say why you should vote for me.
Yeah. I don't remember the characters. It's been a while since I watched that show, but yeah.
I watched the first couple episodes and I was like, this is basically a lesbian porn, and I was bored.
I actually enjoyed like the first 2 seasons. I really enjoyed.
Really weird.
But I like when it comes to TV shows, I get really bored really fast when it comes to a lot of TV shows. I just kind of like
the first 5 episodes. I'm done, and if a show cannot even able to pull me through those, like basically Black Lightning does.
Yeah. No, like even shows that like I'm like, you know, like comic book TV shows, like I will get bored. I can get really invested in like the first 2 seasons, and then like it has to be a really great, or just has to have something about it. It doesn't necessarily be a good show, just something that interesting enough. But like I tend to lose my interest. Go ahead, Maya.
Oh, sorry. Identity politics don't sell. I think we found that. Like, remember that one guy? Like, even on like it's not just the left, but the right as well. I remember that candidate in that I think fairly right-wing state who refused to even debate his opponent because she was trans, and literally all he did is spread campaign like propaganda against the fact that she was trans.
Yeah. Guess what? There's the like the anti-identity politics, like is identity politics still, like when you're so like, I don't care about identity politics, but you put so much focus on the fact that your opponent is trans or this or that, you're engaging in it. It's like what's her face, Candace Owens, the whole red pill black.
That was all she did was make herself look. She did exactly the opposite of what she should have been doing. She shot herself in the foot so much.
No, like she was all like identity politics are bad, but she refused to call Blair a woman. Like, she went out of her way to call her a man, which I was like, okay, you're engaging in identity politics.
That, by the way, she literally
the same. Oh, sorry.
No, before the thing starts, she kept calling Blair a she. And but then the thing starts. I'm gonna keep calling you he, and then during the thing she started calling her she again.
She switched when they went live, and then she accidentally kept calling her she. What were you gonna say, Maya?
Yeah, Skeptic. I'm not sure if you saw Skeptic's video on that, but he pointed out that Blair never made a video on Candace Owens, so it seems very likely that Candace literally went out of her way to debate Blair simply so that she could
tweet out to Candace.
She picked out Blair because that was somebody she could play to her audience with. She could say, hey, this is a trans person, so they're automatically bad because they're trans. Because I remember talking to people on Candace Owens' like threads where they're like, well, Blair's a man. And I'm like, okay, biologically, yes, Blair is a man. But how does that make anything she says less relevant? Well, she's trans. She's not a she. She's a man. And it would just kind of always come back to that. The identity politics, they couldn't like argue against Blair in any other way than her identity.
And also, like, I think Candace even misread it a bit, because I don't think even the right wing at this point like buy into that a whole lot. I think
the right wing is changing these days, where it's less and less about like they are getting more with the times. Like there's more and more right wing people who are like less like against gay marriage, who are less against, you know, the trans thing. Like okay, like here's the thing for me, I grew up right wing. I grew up very conservative. Now, like, love or hate Blair, I have a lot of respect for Blair, because if it wasn't for Blair, she and her videos, especially discussing her gender dysphoria, are what helped me look at trans people and be like, oh, that's an actual person. There is a person going through struggles. You know, like, oh no, it's just a man. It's just a man. Blah blah blah. Like gender dysphoria is stupid. Like that's something, you know, seeing a person and seeing their actual struggles and stuff changed my whole point of view. You know, I'm like, and was on my transition to be more libertarian too. But I feel like more and more right wing people are seeing people like Blair who are reasonable and being like, oh, okay, like, maybe I'm not like thinking quite the right way here.
Yeah, and I think that's actually a lot of why I oppose the modern sort of trans rights movement, because it does exactly the opposite of that.
Exactly.
Like what we need are people like Blair White, or people like not even conservatives, people like Kim Petras, who's like she's really left wing, but she's in the spotlight not as a trans person. She's just trying to live her life, and she happens to be like a musician.
Yeah.
And I think like the more like trans YouTubers and things.
Yeah. I think the more that it kind of like because part of what made me so anti-trans before was the SJW trans left, like the hardcore identity politics, because you'd see them and you'd be like, I don't want any part of that. But like I think people like Blair who are trans and conservative are important to the fact that like she can speak to conservative points where she can relate to conservative people, and then they're going to see this person and be like, oh, she agrees with me. Like, why is her being trans so bad again?
One thing, if you just look at her, would you then think she was once ever a man?
Exactly. I've done this with you too, Maya, and I hope you don't mind. Where I have conservative friends, and I've shown them like trans YouTubers like Blair, and I showed them a picture of you too, Maya. Nobody could tell that you weren't biologically female.
Cool.
Like, and I was showing them like, you look, like it's not, like you would only make these judgments if you had the insider information that they weren't biologically female or they're not biologically male. So many can pass so well. So it's like if you don't notice it on the surface, your prejudice becomes as long as you do know. I'm not sure if I'm making sense there, but I'm like, it's like you're just, as long as you might know, then you can be prejudiced. But like if you didn't know, you could probably go through your whole life meeting one of these people and never knowing that they're trans and being like, oh, hey, this is a really cool person. I really enjoyed my time with this person.
That's the one thing with Blair. Before she even started doing hormones, she already looked like a woman, like a very boyish guy.
Oh yeah, I've seen her pre-op too, like her facial.
I would, like if I have that ever even literally stated to her, like if I would saw her, like if I moved from a younger brother to USA back then, I saw her back then. That was before. I would legit think she was a woman, and I'm too stubborn to believe otherwise.
Well, I mean, like for you, Maya, my first time I saw a picture of you, I had no idea you were trans based off your picture. I wouldn't have guessed in a million years.
One thing, apparently, they had to. I actually have a copy of like my DNA from before I was born because they had to look at that because they couldn't tell whether I was going to be born a boy or a girl by actually looking at, like the scannery things of what I was.
So the thing was
also
basically.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just one closing thought. I think the more trans people can do to distance themselves from the trans rights movement and say no, that doesn't represent me and I oppose that, the better.
Agreed. Totally agreed. Hey, I think we're gonna
less emotional about things.
Yeah, I think we're gonna call this quits because I got a few things I gotta do, and Nico's stream starts in 15 minutes. Maya, do you have any last thoughts before we hop off?
No, I think that was basically it.
All right, Madness, how about you?
Not much at the moment.
All right. Hey guys, thanks so much for coming on. And then are both of you are going to be on Nico's stream?
Yep.
Yeah, but Count Dankula might also be doing a stream, so I might leave early.
Okay. That's fine.
Goes to prison tomorrow.
I'm not going to stay on Nico's whole stream because I got stuff I got to do too. So
how long it's going to be?
I have no idea. I'm going to assume at least an hour or two. Yeah,
it would take like 5 hours, like chess stream.
Yeah, Nico's typical live streams I think go for about an hour, so she might go a little over that because of the people. But we'll see. Yeah. So hey, thanks so much for coming on, guys. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you all later.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Well,